Hey everybody, this is Jill. Thanks for tuning in. Now, this is a topic probably that could apply to men, but I think women have more, this is so sexist, but I do think women do this more than men. I don't know. I'm not a man. I couldn't tell you. Crafting, arts and crafts for love or money, or maybe both. Now, we are destashing, as you all probably know, if you've been watching, you know that we're trying to clear out, some of the stuff that's been in here for a lot of years. And one of the things that is in here are a few of the items that I have crafted with. And not even over like the last, 43 years that he and I have been together, but really in the last, my nose is itching, the last 5 years. What I have in my closet right now that I'm going to get rid of are three things. I've got a marbling kit, which actually I enjoyed marbling very much, and I have two videos, and I'll link them up there to the links to, so you can see it. They're just really beginning marbling videos that, I did for fun on camera. I liked it, but you really do have to have a separate room for it. I was trying to do it in the kitchen. Of course, you're working with lots of paint and solutions that aren't toxic, but it's a mess. And I have no place to work with that. So I've decided, that's something I won't do again. And I haven't done probably, oh my gosh, 3 or 4 years. So that's going. The other thing I have up there, which, is I got the brain that I wanted to make cards. Oh boy, I want to make cards. So I went out and bought one of these crank things that cuts out the pieces, and you buy the dies. I bought a really good one, and I bought lots of dies, and I bought the short thing and the long thing, and lots of paper and ink and rubber stamps. Well, that lasted maybe 3 months. And I said, well, here's the problem. I really have no place to craft. That was my excuse. But was it really my excuse? I bought something I thought I was going to like, and I didn't. The other thing, which I actually like, and I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to give it up or not, and that is have a box, kind of a shoebox, plastic shoebox, with pine needle basket making stuff. It's got the pine needles, and I've got needles and little things, and I actually enjoyed that very much. I am self-taught, and I actually did not too bad, but I enjoyed it. And here's a craft that's very small. You can sit at the table or sit, in maybe your favorite chair, and the thing that's done is small. I did baskets, here we go, with all the different things I did. Then I did baskets, full-size baskets with the reeds and the handles. And the thing that, I don't know how many of you are like this, but I'm self-taught. Almost everything that I've ever done has been self-taught. So I did get into basketry, the regular type of basketry, and I liked it very much. I did, for about 6 months. Maybe it wasn't even that long, and I lost interest, and that went into a cupboard, and it eventually went into a yard sale. Very expensive to get set up in that. It was not terribly expensive to get set up in the marbling kit. It was less than $100, I think. The crank card maker, that was a major expense, and I'm going to try to get rid of that on Craigslist, because I quite honestly don't want to give it to any kind of a Goodwill kind of place, because it cost me a lot of money. Okay. Then I was into sewing, quilting kind of thing. I was going to quilt, and I was going to do quilts, and I did that for, of course I had to go out and buy a sewing machine, right? And I don't sew. I don't sew clothes. So I had that. All of them I seemed to like, but I lost interest in. And maybe in the back of my mind, I always said, if I really like this and I do well at it, can I make some money at it? And I guess that's always been in the back of my mind, way back, maybe, 35 years ago or so. I kind of went through that period where I was kind of exploring different types of crafts and arts. I've taken art classes, and I of course took the pottery class that the director gave me a year ago for my birthday, and thank goodness it was a class and I didn't go out and buy all the stuff for potting. It just didn't do it for me. I thought I would love it, it just didn't do it for me. So that was a very cheap way to find out. And maybe I did it all wrong all the way through. Back to 35 years ago, I tried all these different little things, and I was going to make money with them all of them. And I was doing things that were beyond, what's the word you're looking for? Ahead of my time. I was doing cold coffee concentrate, and I was going around to different bakeries, really trying to sell this cold coffee concentrate that you just add water to, and you had hot coffee. Well, that's everywhere now. They got it from me, I know. Then came weaving, hand weaving, on a loom. And I thought, I think I'm gonna like this. And luckily I found something in the area that they rented out looms, floor looms. So I rented out a small one. It was, I think, 30 inches maybe. And I had someone come to my house and show me how to warp it, to get it all threaded up so I could weave. I fell in love. I absolutely fell in love. And I did weaving for, oh my gosh, 25 years. Now, in the process of that, I fell in love with weaving, but I ended up making money with it because I was weaving things and people would say, oh, will you weave me something like that? Will you weave me this? Will you weave me that? And I was selling the stuff. And then I got into craft shows, and I would take my loom and I would set it up and I'd weave at the craft show. And people thought that was so terrific to see how someone did this, And I went through 4 different looms. I took the rental back and I got a larger one because I loved it so much. And that was 40 inches. And I ended up getting a 64-inch loom with 12 harnesses. And I know you don't know what that means. It's an enormous loom. And again, I couldn't get enough of it. And I was so good at it, and I was self-taught. And along the line, I made the money. I don't know where this is going. I don't know whether you've experienced this. If you've had that crazy idea that you were going to do something wonderful with a craft or an art that you liked to do and ended up making money. Well, I will say the thing about the weaving. Now, I had to quit it, and it broke my heart. And to this day, I haven't done any weaving probably in I haven't done any weaving, I think, since we've been here, and it's been 16 years. So it's been 16 years. I couldn't do it anymore. I had bone spurs in my heels, and a lot of it probably was, you work those pedals. And I couldn't work the pedals anymore because my bone spurs were terrible. And the other thing is that, of course, I have this degenerative bone problem, and I have bone spurs in my back and in my spine, and there's a lot of things I can't do now because of that. But that was one of the things. You're bent over on this loom for hours, warping it, getting it all set up, and then of course you were weaving, so you're sitting on a hard bench for hours. And I would do it for hours. I would. So I look at all the different things I've done, and here I am getting ready to sell off at least 2, and the little basket thing, the pine needle basket, I don't know, it's so tiny. I probably will keep it and pull it out one day and start doing that again. But over the years, I have, oh my God, spent a fortune. And out of all of those, out of all the ones that I tried, the sewing, the quilting, the basket making, the pottery, the coffee thing, and I went through all these harebrained ideas, and then I went through all kinds of arts and crafts that I thought I would love. And there was one in my life, and it breaks my heart that I can't do it anymore, and that's the weaving. So I would be interested to know from you, have you ever had a craft or an art in your life that you loved and you continue to love and you continue to do? Or have there been mistakes along your artistic path that maybe, I also did watercolor and acrylic paint, forgot those. There's another 2. I guess I could go on for days about the ones that I did. But have there been ones in your life? Have there been ones in your life that you said, oh my gosh, this is the love of my life, and you actually made some money doing it? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It helps keep you in your craft. It's kind of like, you feed your craft. And so that's what I did with mine. I fed my craft. And that'll be my love. And I've thought about trying to do it, and it won't work now. It just won't. So I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to find out if you have, arts and crafts Is it for the love, or is it for the money, or is it for both? And those are the stories that I want to hear. Please comment. I love to hear your comments. I hope that after you've seen this video, if you're not a subscriber, you might think about it. I do talk about all kinds of different things, real serious women's issues and light and fluffy ones, and I'd like to kind of increase the kind of topics. I'm not an expert. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a woman who is almost 67 years old, and I have a lot more to learn in my life. I have gone around the school of knocks, as my father used to call it. You learn a lot along your path, and hopefully you don't make the same mistake more than 5 or 6 times. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, my dear friends, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.